Well, let's wrap up April 24th, 2014. What a wonderful day of trading we had today. Big markets, lots of volatility, lots of movement back and forth. In our major markets, the AM research calls and updates were spot on as the market moved on. So right now on the E-mini, we are looking at an outside day. That usually yields a trading range market. The following day. We don't have a lot of news tomorrow. We have Michigan sentiment, the Apple news, the Facebook news, the durable orders news was all better than forecast. The market may have been run up in anticipation of such. So here we sit, building value in that 1870 273 area. And yesterday's close was 1873. So the market is still poised to trade higher. We're still dealing with a P. Depending on where we close today, the F2 screen will favor selling into strength or buying into weakness. But on the daily chart information, we are dealing with a very, very strong P. And again, it can be uncomfortable when we go back and we read the articles and we get all the facts on how that number was derived. It's not comforting, but this market is being driven by the Fed. The Fed wants the market to be higher. They're keeping interest rates low. So these large trading houses and institutions can borrow cheap and then go out and finance spreads and other securities that allows them to lock in profits. Okay, we have a kind of a double distribution today. Volume is in the bottom half as it stands right now. We have a little rejection over the top above 1880, not a lot. But if you put all this together, we're still dealing with a P, as you can see. And the news, at least on a headline basis, has been positive, so the market still can trade higher. End of the week profit taking tomorrow might be the biggest dynamic that we deal with. So based on today's activity, we're buying the 65, 67 area. And we're selling the 75, 77. We got ourselves a 10-point range, and I imagine that'll probably hold overnight. I think the easiest trade to see on Friday will be failure to extend and take out this 1880, 1882 area. That is resistance. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to have resting sell orders out there at 1882, limit sells. On the buy side, the London low over here was in the 60 area, so this 60, 62 area would be an area that would be bought too. But I think, again, once again, the easiest trade to see is selling failure to take out 75, 77, or 80, 82. Probably the most uncomfortable trade tomorrow would be buying the having to buy or get long in the 70 area. Kind of right in the middle, and it doesn't offer us a lot of advantage. So this morning we wanted to sell failure to take out and hold the overnight session highs. We saw that in Z period, produced a huge trade. Could have been short from 81.50. We wanted to buy the 65, 67 area. If the market broke 75, and you can see in B period, market just went straight down. So we really caught both sides of the market. We didn't even have a chance to buy the 75 area. So pretty darn good day for trading in the E-mini. Okay, on to the note. The note we started talking yesterday about 123.26 was the trade. We didn't think the market would trade below that or close below it today, nor tomorrow for that matter. We wanted to buy into weakness. This morning we had a 17 to 21 buy. The low was 19. We did have a sell zone 27 to 31, and the backup sell zone was 03 to 07. The day session high was 02. So we're dealing with a slightly lower high and a lower low, so selling failure to extend today's range makes some sense. Buying into weakness because it's a post-auction week day. The auction is behind us. They tends to yield a pause day. This is close enough. I'm going to call this a trading range day tomorrow. And, supported by the knowledge that tomorrow is usually a pause day. Is this confirmed on the F2 screen, the F2 time frame? And I would maintain that it is. Okay, a little lower than yesterday's highs. Yesterday's highs was 23.23, 24.03. Today's high is 24.02. And we're a little bit below yesterday's low, but I don't think it makes a lot of difference. The average auction price, right, is 123.26. So my guess is we close the market tomorrow at 123.26 or higher. That's been the call this morning. This morning we wanted to buy 17s to 21s. And so we've got pretty good support here in the 26 area. 25.5 is the low, so we'll make 22.26 buy 1 for the overnight. And then we'll make buy 2. Let's make it 16 to 20. Work the numbers in. And on the sell side, we're going to sell failure to take out 24 even 24.04. Now, if the E-mini is sideways, trading range should hold. If the E-mini crashes, we don't really like the short side of the market, and we'll have to pay up to get long. If the E-mini rallies with some strength, last hour trading, then we might be forced to sell the 27s to 31 areas. So tomorrow's news, Michigan sentiment, doesn't usually move the market, but it's the only news we have at 82.6. We'll be watching to see what happens between Russia and the Ukraine. There was bloodshed today. The Ukraine has said, Russia, you stop these military exercises on our border, or else. We'll see what the or else will do. So that's it for the note. Quick look at the ZB. Big day in the ZB. We liked buying that one on weakness today. Produced a huge trade for us. The knob spread has expanded. So the long-term buyer could have been just for the auction. Got long the knob spread again today. That means there's something out there the market doesn't like. Flight to quality is an issue. The war talk between Russia and the Ukraine could certainly do that. There might be something else. A imminent failure, a surprise financial failure somewhere in the world of a major bank or company. Could be different things. The slowing of the Chinese economy, hard to say, but the knob spread is expanding. It's over 10 and it holds those. This morning in the bond, we wanted to buy the 21 to 25 area was our number 2 spot to get long. 01 to 29 was our first buy, so we just did get into the second area with a low of 24, produced a huge trade for us. We're in the same situation. We want to sell failure to take out, 18 to 20? And the last rotate down in I period was 05, so that's 5 to 9 we'll give it a little bit of room for buy 1. And then 29 still 1s for buy 2s. But the knob spread's pretty strong. And the fundamentalist is playing the financials from the long side. Okay, gold this morning, we wanted to buy the 67.70 area. Market came down and touched 68. We had to sell 75.77. It briefly paused there. Then it just exploded to 99. Our second sell was in the 80 to 82 area. Did not have a chance to pull that off. So we have a seller against 113 right now, 1300, and we have a buyer against 1270 as it stands right now. So pretty good buying below 75, pretty good selling above 1295 as the market develops and builds value. The seller is the large institution who no longer sees a lot of appreciation potential for gold, and the buyer's the retail account that's scared about what's going on politically in their country or their region or the world, and economically. So, I mean, if you look at history as your guide, and if you look at economic bubbles and collapses and the rest of it, the entire G20 is on the path for financial collapse. Probably the best example of how it could happen with all of the G20 banks participating would be Argentina and the multiple devaluations or defaults that they've gone through. It's taken a long time to kill Argentina. Argentina back in the 20s and 30s was the fourth fastest growing economy in the entire world. And look at what has happened to them since they've tried the socialism, dictatorships, and everything else. Centralized control. Good for those that are in power, not so good for the rest of them. Okay, our sell zone is 95 to 97, sell 1. And then 1300 plus would be sell 2. On the buy side, I think we got a lot of volume down here in the 84 area, so 85, 83 will be buy 1. And as wide a swings as we get in this, I'm not saying it's a schizophrenic market, but we'll give it a little bit of room and come back and see what we got in the morning. I think the easiest trade to see is failure to take out 95 to 1300. Okay, taking a look at crude. Crude was actually pretty quiet today. We wanted to buy 101 and a quarter, 101.50. You had to do it before the market opened, and we wanted to sell 102, even 102.25, and the market made it up just north of 102.33. So as with all of our market, I mean, we really did well today. 5 out of the 6 markets that we covered, we nailed, and then on the euro dollar, we were pretty close. So Charlie's grinning ear from ear, and that grin will stay on my face until my wife asks me to go do something or catches me for not doing something. Then won't be grinning. Okay, so right now you can see up here the 102.75 area, 103 area right up here. This is a low volume area. We got a little dent at 102.50. To the downside, we really haven't spent a lot of time below 101.50. So this 25 to 50 will be buy 1 once again. What's coming out of Russia and the Ukraine is supportive. Buy 2 will be 75 to the buck. On the sell side, we're at 94, so we'll give it a little room to the upside. 102.25 to 50 will be sell 1, and then 75 to 103. Tomorrow is the deadline for Russia to stop their maneuvers. I doubt seriously that Russia will stop their maneuvers. So if the Ukraine is bluffing, they're going to get it called. And if they're not bluffing, fighting could start outbreak between the two. I would imagine it'd be on a limited basis, and that will certainly support the price of crude oil. And last but not least, the euro. Poor Draghi, every time he says something, the market breaks and then it quickly recovers. So the euro has shown a lot more strength than people would give it based on statements from the central bank. The central bank would like the euro to be lower so they have a shot at exporting outside of the European Union. Works pretty good for Germany inside the European Union, and the Germany generally sells high-value technology, high-value consumer goods, so it works well for them, but it doesn't work well for the rest of them. So you can see right here just on the chart, structural-wise, we've got 90 is pretty good support. The 75 to 90 is really, really good support. And over the top, we've got 40 to maybe 60 is where resistance is. We've got a P shape. Got a chance to trade it higher, but if something goes wrong in the Ukraine, they'll get hit too. So we're going to make 30 to 40 sell 1, and then 50 to 60 sell 2. And then on the buy side, we're going to make 138, 138, 10 buy 1, and then 75 to 90 per buy 2. And that's it, folks, for April the 24th, 2014. What a day we had. I'm going to go turn off the recording, and I'll be back with you, Dan, in just a moment.